Hi, everybody. Welcome to our office hours group mentorship event for January. I wanted to just welcome everyone online, for anyone who's joining us, and we may have a few others joining us in the next few minutes. So my name is Felicity Shirk. I'm with the City of Toronto, and the City of Toronto works with volunteer mentors to try to host events like this each month. So thank you to everyone who's part of our 10,000 Coffees Startup Here hub, where we bring entrepreneurs and mentors together. So I'm very, very happy today to introduce you to our host. And before I do that, I'm just going to start off our meeting in a good way by acknowledging the land that we're meeting on today. The City of Toronto acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. The City of Toronto also acknowledges that we are covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to our host for today, Kabir Chaudhry. A bit of a abbreviated bio for Kabir. His full bio was on the registration for today's event. But Kabir is a results-driven business leader. He has over 10 years of business growth experience and specializes in performance-based marketing. His work consists of experience with B2B, B2C, and B2G audiences with $100 million combined in campaign management. Currently, Kabir heads growthmaster.com, where he helps business owners scale their business. He's here today to share some insight with you on how you can maximize your e-commerce business. So during today's session, we're going to learn how to launch and scale an e-commerce business. So Kabir has a presentation, and he has graciously offered his time as a mentor and as a host. So Kabir, we're so happy to have you. I'm going to turn over the mic to you so that you can begin your presentation. Thank you so much. And welcome, Lindsay, and everyone who's joined us today online. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the introduction, Felicity. I really appreciate you guys hosting this for all our entrepreneurs in Toronto and like around the area. So, well, today's topic, I know during COVID, like everyone started doing e-commerce. Recently, people who had like their traditional ways of doing business with a brick and mortar store, and they wanted to go e-commerce. So I know this is a hot topic, and especially 2024 with all the artificial intelligence. I can't wait to tell you guys about all the things that are out there in the e-commerce, especially considering what is going to be affecting the year 2024. Okay, so I wanted to start off with because I know a lot of people have added their questions in terms of some of you guys might have already have a e-commerce store. Some of you might be just starting off, you just want to learn what is out there, what are the steps, and how you can start off with your e-commerce journey. Now, in terms of the first thing that I usually like to ask, especially if I'm teaching e-commerce to anyone, you have to start with the why. That's a line sent by Simon Sinek, but I like to use it for e-commerce in the sense you need to understand why you are going on an e-commerce platform and what is the purpose of you. I mean, obviously, a lot of people would say well, I just want to scale my business, take it online, put it in front of a number of people. But again, you still have to have some sort of problem statement towards what are you trying to solve with your product, or in terms of where to promote it, or who should be able to see it, and how to start overall. So all of these questions are more towards a problem statement, or I would say once you do know what type of product you want to launch, or you're just like still browsing towards your options, I would say you have to have a bit of market research. And that's where I'm going to start off with today. The way I've laid out this presentation for you guys today is like how this is exactly the blueprint that I would be using if I was to set up an e-commerce store today. Okay, so in terms of there are some tools and like options being presented. Feel free to ask any questions. Like I know like a lot of you guys have asked questions with on the Startup Toronto page, but like if you have any questions, you can ask me real time in this presentation. Okay, so let's just move further in terms of what we have. I wanted to give some trends on e-commerce right now. Now, I usually like to give out stats and like what is working, what is not working, in terms of any industry that I work in, and especially in e-commerce. Like, there's like a tremendous amount of changes that have taken place. Especially, I mean, everyone knows like during COVID, like e-commerce just like had the one of the best years for a lot of individuals that launched their products online and especially try to scale it on e-commerce. Now, one mistake that I noticed, which I've also added as a part of our trend, is like a lot of people don't really, like when you're setting up your store, you're building it in on a desktop. And I've noticed like a lot of people forget that the majority of users that are buying products these days, they are coming on a mobile device, right? So you have to understand where your audience is coming from. Now, this stat that I have as the first part of our slide, this is based off like, this is not, I think like this is from a stat from 2022, but like it's still relevant in terms of, because I know these numbers are only growing. Now, part of the reason, like obviously this is like an industry-wide stat, but like I can tell you from our own e-commerce stores or like people that I have mentored for e-commerce businesses, I've noticed like mobile devices or like search on mobile for products is like almost like over here it says 71%. I would say in our case it has been around like close to 80%. The reason for that is like, I mean, everyone has access to mobile devices, and then people like, like the ease of use, and that's why like mobile devices come really handy, and they just like they think of a product or they see an ad and they just want to learn about it. So make sure, like if you already have a store or if you're just starting off, make sure you are investing heavily on your mobile website. If you're not, then it's just going to cause problems in terms of like scaling the business. So like, let's start off with the right stats and the right things to do. So focus more on mobile, make sure each individual page is clickable in the sense that the user can enjoy the process, and every image is optimized properly for the mobile. Now, I have the second point as like, I wanted to touch down on SMS. If any of you have attended my previous sessions with, like Startup Toronto, like I did had a session about lead generation. There's a video available for that in case if anyone wants to watch it. But like the point I'm trying to make over here is like when it comes to opt-in strategies or the best way to bring audience back to your website, I would say SMS is one of the it's around like, I would say top of the funnel or top of the hierarchy. Reason being, like SMS have a really good open rate. Okay, I know like a lot of people in e-commerce business, they use email marketing, they use like different types of opt-in strategies like chatbots, or like they even like some have like AI generated phone calls. But what I have noticed like over the years, and like especially like in the past 2 years, mobile like SMSs really get your audience back. So let's say someone has bought a product in the past, or someone has shown interest in a product launch. Let's say you have a product on your website, it's not available. Ask people for their phone numbers. Just say like, I mean, once the product's available, we would text you. Now, what that does for you is like, it obviously builds a database for you. but like this also gives you a chance to send these people SMSs. So like as a stat says, almost like 95% open rate. Now, comparing that to email, I would say emails usually the industry standard is 13% open rate. So that, I mean, like is a significantly low compared to an SMSs. So like make sure you're capturing enough information that you can scale later on for your rebringing your audience on your website or using retargeted ads. Now, the third point I want to make over here is inflation. Now, we know like there's a lot of like economically like right now North America like I would say Canada and US where a lot of like you guys would be targeting I believe, or even in Europe like there's a lot of inflation going on. Now that is like and obviously I mean most of you guys would understand what inflation is like where like people can't really uh, afford the products and product prices are going up. But the point I'm trying to make over here, it's affecting or the mindset of a person. So let's say an individual who's constantly seeing inflation around them, uh, that they probably would have a mindset of getting deals on everything. And that's what your online e-commerce users are usually looking for. Even though let's say your product costs, and we all know like what happens during Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays, a lot of these brands, they have a product that is for, let's say, $99. They mark it up, say like 100, used to be $130 and now it's $99. So like, I mean, it's just psychological aspect, like the people always want to win and they will always want to get the best deals for themselves. So in that case, you have to understand the mindset of the online user. Now, not everyone is always price conscious, but like majority of your audience, when I say majority, almost like 90% of your audience is looking for some sort of offer. And I would say even if they have already landed on your page, try to either cross sell, upsell with some deals. Okay. Again, that's just like how the market is right now. It might change in the future, but I feel like people would always like to win. And in e-commerce, winning means for them is like getting some deals on products that they're trying to buy. Now, the last point over here, as part of the trends, is like 73% of shoppers like to come to your website from multi-channel approach, or you can call it omni-channel approach. So if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, or like let's say you're just focusing on one platform, that's not gonna get you enough results or enough sales for your e-commerce platform. So you have to, like try and test different platforms that are out there. My personal favorites right now, like for especially since we're talking about what's working, what's not working in 2024, I would say this year, like TikTok again is a winner. TikTok's like really, really good for what it does, especially with the video content. You can showcase your products very easily. Uh, the second favorite that I have, or I would just say like right along with TikTok, would be Instagram and Facebook. I mean, again, they all are. I mean, wherever you can buy or sell your products, that's where it like it leads to. You still have to test it, but like the reason I like TikTok is like because it can easily explain your product. It's not an image-based website. There's a video content. I would talk about a bit more about what type of content you should be using. In Instagram, I like the reels. Reels are really good. Videos, again, but like short videos, like like 30 to 60 seconds, and you kind of know what the product is. So it's your responsibility to showcase or explain the product in that amount of time, or just use an image ad. I also have seen like like on especially for those of you guys who promote their products on YouTube right now, YouTube Shorts are doing really good for e-commerce. So if you want to promote your products, or if you want to, again, the reason I'm picking Reels or YouTube Short or TikTok. The main reason behind that, I would say, is like attention span of an average user is like really short these days. So like people like there was a study that was done. People can, on average, can consume up to 400 different types of ads or videos in a day. So if you're competing against so many different products and brands out there, you have to make sure you're utilizing these platforms. And again, it might be different for you guys in terms of what I have seen with my students and like what I've done in my own e-commerce. But like I would say, try out all of things and see what works for your product. Now let's move further. Again, I'm going to start off with like in a different approach, as I said earlier. Like I'm going to start off with like the why, and then I'm going to help you where, and I'm going to help you how you're going to do it. Okay. So let's start off with like for people who don't have a store yet, or just try to like help people like that already have a store. Maybe your stores are not working properly, or they're not converting enough. Because I did have a question for a few people that did said like they have been running e-commerce for a while, but it's not converting for them. So let's talk about the first thing in a e-commerce platform, that is products, right? You need products even before your website. Don't build a website before the product. Build a website around a product. Okay, let me repeat that again. Make sure you build your website around the product. So what I personally would recommend is pick a product first and then build a website. Don't build a website and then pick a product. Unless like if you have like a store that sells multiple types of products. But if you're starting off with your first product, or like a line of few products, start with the proper product research. Now, there are a number of sites that are out there. One site that I kind of like have noticed like over the years has gives you a certain idea of like what is working in the industry is As Seen on TV. So this is a website that gives you ideas about different commercials that run on TV, and they have all these products that are, you can easily go through the website and see what are the winning products on their site. Now, with this site, again, you can filter throughout different product sets. And then the reason I have this on my slide today is this has majority of the products have like offers. They have some sort of videos on it, and you can easily go and check. Like for example, if you look on the screen, it says best sellers. So obviously those are the products that are trending for them right now. Now, right after this, again, there are two ways to do a product research. One, you already have a product in place. You go like, well, this is a product that I have. Let me see what is the demand for this product and market. Okay. The second is like you don't have a product, but you want to create one. You can always do the market research on websites like this. Either you can pick a product from here and try to sell it on your own from like people like to do drop shipping from AliExpress. They pick a product over here, they see the product price on AliExpress, and then they see if they can sell it for a lower price point because they already have seen the demand for the product. But if you're launching your own products, again, like this could at least help you understand what type of products are being liked or being sold online. Now, the good old Google or Google Trends. A lot of people, like even though this tool is available for everyone, and it is like like literally connected to Google and like the trends that are taking place, number of criteria goes through it. Now, some of you might already use it, or you might not have an idea that this can help you find the trends about your product. So over here, if you notice, like I have added like a keyword shoes, and then on the drop down menu over here, I have picked Google Shopping. Now, you can see different trends for last year. I have a few for this month as well. But like the point over here is this would give you understanding of if the product's picking up or not. Okay. Now, if a product is not really trending, usually people are not trying to buy that product at that time. Maybe it has a seasonality to it, or maybe the product's outdated. There's something going on in the industry, so that this kind of gives you an idea. And then again, you can go, like pick certain provinces, states, and go further detail. This is an open like tool available to everyone. I like it in terms of like and you can compare different products as well. You can add like shoes and then compare it to different other products that you're thinking. Just a starting point, or just to realize if you have existing products, like what's happening in your industry. Now, moving further, obviously, I'm not going to miss on AI, because AI is like a big thing in 2024. And even last year, like, I mean, I feel artificial intelligence and its use is growing by almost like, I used to think like, like, are we going to see AI evolve in like 2 to 3 years from when it started, like picking up last year. But I feel that wasn't correct. Like, I mean, it's almost growing at a tremendous amount of, like, if I had to give a percentage to it, almost like 4,000% every day. That's the level of growth AI is seeing. So like, I've noticed, like there are softwares that can make phone calls for you. There's softwares that can automate your products. There's softwares that can pick your products online and kind of like set up your product line for you. So there's like number of things happening in AI space. So like now let's I've given one example. Again, you might have your own tools, but like the one that I usually recommend is Pixar. Like Pixar, what it does is like it finds the trending products or winning products with the help of AI. And you can go check their website. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this page, so that way you just have like for your later use. There are going to be a lot of softwares that I'm going to be recommending. I'm not affiliated to any of these. These are just like some of the tools that I've noticed compared to the ones that are out there help you. And again, there's no limitations of what you guys can try out, but this is like obviously a good starting point for finding products that are out there. It gives you sales numbers, it gives you the product type, it gives you, like trends and that with those products. So like definitely a website to look into. Now, once our product research, again, the three tools that I've given is like like my personal favorites. Like you guys might have a few other tools, but these should give you enough idea of like what's happening with your product or the type of product that you're trying to launch. And if you're confused in terms of where to start, like as seen on TV, you can literally find the product on then and try browsing through AliExpress and see if the product prices are less on there, and you can try to ship and sell it and make some profit. Basically, you're not creating your own product, you're just finding the right product that you can sell. Now, again, I think I didn't mention drop shipping earlier, in case if anyone doesn't know what drop shipping is. Drop shipping is basically you find a product that someone else is selling in the market, and then you try to find like a product that is cost effective or is like in low price compared to what everyone else is selling. If you can find a product like that, then you can mark it up to the price that everyone else is selling it at, and then you just sell it through that process. Now, a lot of products, like people that do drop shipping, they usually use AliExpress and websites like this. Again, this presentation is not just based on drop shipping. I've taken two different approaches to this. One, like if someone wants to launch their own products through an e-commerce platform, and the second is like if someone wants to do drop shipping, because they both are really relevant topics, and like a lot of people would ask questions about both of them. So for your own product, or you're trying to find a product for yourself that you can sell and make some money on e-commerce, these tools should be able to help you. Now, store setup. Everyone has their own, like there are a number of platforms out there. BigCommerce, Shopify is like one of the ones that I like to use. other than Shopify, there's WooCommerce, and I mean there are plenty of softwares out there, Samcad or but like Shopify is one that I've used, and I think like maybe I've got too comfortable with it, and but it does have a lot of add-ons and like plugins, and like it just does the job pretty simply, and that's what the platform was built on. It's been there for a while, and does the job pretty perfectly. Now, store setup wise, like you can go check out Shopify and see if that like you can always browse through different like templates over there, and it's pretty simple to use. You don't need a code. You don't have to really have prior coding experience or really in-depth like web development skills. You can, if you're newbie in terms of the tech space, you can easily still figure out Shopify. Now, how much time does it take for like to set up a store on Shopify? If you're on a, like if you have some sort of understanding of like the product and all the other information that you would need, and you already have finalized a name for your brand or your website, then it should not take more than a week. And that's like what I've noticed I've seen people that have set up a Shopify store in like 2 hours. So depending on your skill set, but like that's usually how much time it takes. Now, products, like once you pick the product, you can always write your own description, but to save yourself time, you can use ChatGPT and you can write your product, and you can usually get a decent amount of information or a generic overview of like what the product would do. And that help, like, I mean, you need to provide as much information you can about the product, nice, crisp images that are high resolution. A video would be a really like a good appreciated thing from the buyers that are going to go on your page, because a video description is like really going to help them understand what the product is. Now, one personal favorite plugin that you can use for Shopify is Vitals. Like it helps you upsell, cross-sell, and adds reviews to your things. You can create bundles or for your e-commerce, replays, back in stock, all those things, like a number of other things. Again, feel free to take a screenshot of my slide, and you can browse through these options later on. Now, this is just one of the platforms, as I said earlier. If you're using some other platform, see, like platform is just a starting point. Okay. Uh, at the end of the day, how good your product is and how well your market is, or how well you promote it, is really important. Okay, so you might have the best store on Shopify or any other platform, but if the product's not being seen by the audience, or you're not running the ads the way they should be, then it's never going to see a day with any sales on it. So you have to make sure you're using, like you're not spending all your money on just product or setting up the store, because you would need a decent amount of money to promote your brand and your product. So, and that is a classic mistake that a lot of people do. Like a lot of people who want to start off on e-commerce, they just spend a lot of money setting up their store, or just like, like developing a product from scratch. And then, I mean, that all is required, but you don't have to spend a lot of money. Okay, be mindful of like where the money would be required in the later stage. And when we talk about business scaling, like business scaling requires your money to be have a clear strategy around it, and how you're going to spend your every single dollar on the different steps and funnels in the process. Now let's take this further. I wanted to give you guys a few AI tools that I think are going to help you build your images, videos, and set up service for you guys. So if you already have an image, you don't need with the help of AI, you don't really need a, you don't have to have skills to edit a photo. You can go on a website like mocker.ai. What it does is like when you upload your image, it clears the background, and it puts a high resolution background on the image. So what that would do for you is like it would help you set up your background, and it would kind of like like clear up the image for you, sharpen and increase like the brightness to a level. So makes your product look nicer. Let's say you're selling like electronic device and you want to have different types of background. You don't have to do a photo shoot of your product. You just take a picture of your product on a blank background and just you go on this website. Even if it's not blank background, this software should be able to edit it for you, and you should be able to upload your images based on that. Now for video, I like Opus and Magic Cut. There are a few others that are out there. If you're trying to make videos for promotional reasons on e-commerce, I would say if it's on your product page, it should not be longer than 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes is still like a stretch. If you're promoting it on any social platform or anywhere online, it should not be more than, like, your product should be noticed within the first 10 seconds. Now, one step that I can tell you that I've noticed with our own study of like running ads for e-commerce products, people don't really look into products. Like if you have a video that is longer than, let's say, a minute, right? Majority of people would leave your video or move to a next video within the first 3 seconds. Okay, so you have to understand that, like, even if your good part of your video is in, let's say, 30 seconds after or 10 seconds after, people not even going to watch it. So you have to make sure you're utilizing your product videos in a way that they are, uh, starting at a point where the video is gonna pick more attention and people get what the video is supposed to showcase them within the next a minute or so. Now, AI surveys are important because, like, you need to understand, people buy products based on the trust that they see online. Now, online trust is usually built through, like reviews. Like a lot of people would buy products just based on the reviews that they see, which completely makes sense for the reason, like, I mean, if you go on Amazon, for example, you're gonna see products that you're not really familiar with. They're not always selling, like products that are branded or known products. And if you were to judge anything that is being sold on Amazon, the only way you can do that is that you're probably going to have to go through reviews and set up different filters and read some comments under those reviews and figure out if that product's going to fulfill your need. So it's really good to make sure people are leaving reviews on your site. And one of the tools that I showed you earlier with the Shopify, that also gives you reviews, but AI survey like helps you keep sending like surveys to people based on the type of purchases that they have made. Okay, so that's really important, and that's one of the things, like, like I personally feel these are three formats or three things that you can use AI with. And for content, use ChatGPT. I don't have it over here, but like you can use number of content writing tools. I already did mention ChatGPT in the previous slide, but these are the ones that you should be good to go with in terms of your images, videos, and reviews and surveys. Now, one more thing that I want to add on the AI aspect of this, like I've noticed like a lot of people that are starting off, they don't have right descriptions, or even the images that they set up on their store. You can always A/B test those images. What I mean by that is, like, let's say you have a product showcase image, then you have product detail images, or like few more information after that. You have to, I mean, it's all visual these days, right? So you have to make sure the first image that shows on the product page is showcasing your product the right way. And with the tools with like this, that you can give different types of backgrounds and people can see it. Like, let's say if it's like a product that records video for hikers or people who are going on trekking, and the product can also be used for indoor purposes. So you have to have different backgrounds. You have to put your product on a mountain. You have to put your product inside a room. So people understand that what are the use cases of that product. So visual representation is super important, but people still like descriptions, right? Do not forget. I mean, there's no formula towards it. You can't go just all images and no description, or all description, no images. So you have to make sure there's a balance to it. And videos are really good for product demonstration as well. Now, product promotion. Where do we market it? How do we market it? What is the strategy in terms of ad spend? I'm gonna give you all that information. So product promotion, again, by now you should have a store set up. You should have a product that you want to go with based off your research that you have done, and you're all set to promote your product. Now, I would say if you're on a tight budget or you just want to test the water before going all in with your marketing spend, start off with TikTok and Facebook. And when I say Facebook, use Instagram under your ads as well. And start off with a budget of, let's say, $10 to $20. Okay, $10, $15, $20. Like, don't go beyond $20 on day one, or even less than that. But like, again, you still need a certain amount of reach. So I would say $20 a day is a really good budget to start off with. Use a omni-channel approach. Again, you can't just go with one platform and go like, this is gonna make me like sell my products to like hundreds of thousands of people. You have to try out different platforms. Even if you understand or don't understand your avatar of your product. So what I mean by avatar is like the things like, what is their geographical location in terms of, let's say if you're targeting 4 different places, like what's the best place to target people? What is their age groups that people are really connecting from? Like a number of things. It could even be genders and like things further than that, like depending on the type of product it is and the audience selection that you have. All of these things are part of the detailed audience on almost all of these platforms that I've listed over here. Google shopping ads are good as well because I mean, people that are literally searching for your product, they see your ads and they engage from there, but they can be slightly like expensive in terms of, because a lot of people are using it to get results. Now, a difference between like social media or a Google ad would be pretty simple. Like Google, someone's really going to search for the product, and that's how they're ending up with your product. Unless you're running a YouTube ad, which is different. That is slightly more towards like how a TikTok or Instagram ad would work. So try it, all of them. If you spend, let's say, around $100 on a product and you're not getting results, I would just say kill that and move on to a different ad creative. Okay, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars in order to understand if the product would sell. Sometimes the ads that you're running are not working to a level where you would expect it to be. Okay, so you have to play around with different budgets, different platforms. There's no limitations in terms of like what I've listed over here, but you have to try out different types of you can go image-based ad, you can try out video ad. Maybe your image might be better or cost effective than your video ad. Cost per result or cost per conversion is what you are usually tracking for e-commerce. So I mean, whatever is bringing the lowest cost for a purchase is what you are after. So you have to, and once you start seeing a trend on like, okay, this platform is working really good for my ads, then you start increasing the budget. My strategy for increasing a budget is around like 15 to 20% of the entire amount. Or you can go, I mean, again, depending on how many sales you want or how soon you want to scale it. I've seen people that have 5% increase every day in their budget in order to get more sales, but don't go 100%. Let's say if your budget for the day was $100, don't go within a day to $200. Increase it slowly because that's how these platform algorithms work. You don't want to spend a lot of money and just like get no sales. Okay. The second thing that which is also part of omni-channel approach, is own your database. Okay. Now, let's say people are going on your platform and they're making purchases. You obviously need to collect or maintain all the information that you have from them, in terms of their full name, email, phone number. That's pretty much what you need in order to target different ads to all of these people. So owning your database would help you long term, because that would build your information for you, and you can send out emails, SMSs, as I stated, with the trends that are taking place. If you have their SMS, you can do a number of things. They would come back to your store, and you at that point, you're not even spending any new advertisement money, because you own those people and they are part of your platform. Okay. So yeah, list building, super important, long-term strategy. Like is if you even add like new product lines to your website, an email and an SMS would do, like, and especially for people who have already purchased products from you guys. Now, in terms of product promotions, some of you guys might already know about this, or some of you might have seen it, or experienced it online, where you go on a website, you were about to buy a product, or you were on a product page, or you just were on a payment page, and you never ended up buying the product, and you left the page and you go on YouTube or some social media platform, and you start seeing ads from that, uh, e-commerce platform or e-commerce page. Now, the type of marketing that is called retargeting. And retargeting really helps in terms of people that are going to few steps on your website, but for some reason, maybe the credit card didn't work, or something else caught their attention. They got busy and they leave the page. They were not ready uh, at that time. So you have to retarget those guys and bring them back to your products, or showcase products other than the ones that you offer already. Okay. All right. So now let's move further in terms of what else I want to offer today. So for once you start running your ads from day one, you have to have your ROAS calculator. What is that? Basically, the full form for this is like return on your ad spend. Okay. What it does for you is, like, you need to understand, like there's a simple formula for it. Total campaign revenue divided by total campaign cost. And this can be done. I mean, you can do it manually, but if you have like, hundreds of products, you're not gonna check all of them every single day. So in that case, there's a website called e-commerce mentoring.com. You can, and there are a number of other websites like this. Go check this out. And if you already have a store in place and you don't track this on daily basis, this is, like, I would say, one of your like biggest KPIs, or like your key indicators in terms of how your stores are working. And it also gives you projections on like how you would be able to scale it. If you don't understand your costs for, like how much money you had to spend in terms of your different campaigns, and like how many people bought the product, then you never be able to scale the product or the brand itself. So understanding your expenses on ad spends and product sales, that is super important. Okay, so go check this out, and hopefully this kind of like works really good. You can connect multiple products. It gives you a good detailed information of what is out there. And most of these products that I have showcase over here, they do have some sort of offers and promotions. So always keep an eye on like like what is out there. Okay, so any questions? I don't think I don't know, Lindsay, if you have anything, please, well, you can unmute yourself, ask over here, or you can type the message on the chat box. Okay, let's see. love to go through any of the event questions. Okay, yeah, I do have them at the end. I kind of like even made my like presentation based off that. Earlier, I was thinking like I had a different concept in the beginning where I was just gonna go like how to scale the business. Then I realized a lot of people are just starting off like how do I even start a store? Okay, so let's just go on the questions, and then I'm gonna like I think I'm answer most of them, but like I will still go through them. Okay, so how to find profitable business ideas? I already explained that on the first two slides. You can, I mean, market research is everything. Okay, you can't just go like, oh, my mom likes this product, and my, like my boyfriend or girlfriend likes this product, and you just launch the product. That's a really small sample size. Okay, I made that mistake, so I can tell you, like, a lot of my friends would say, "Oh, that's an amazing product. You should put it online." And then you put it online, no one buys it. So you have to probably send a link to your friends, and they are also not buying it. So make sure you understand the products. As I said, like there are Google Trends that would tell you if the product's even like worth it, your time. And it's like you don't have to have a sign in, it's just open tool. Go there, literally takes 2 minutes of your time to understand if the product's trending. Okay. And now there are AI tools. Uh, I would say if you're starting off with the store as well, AI is super important. Like, don't think it's like some sort of monster out there, which for like has like a lot of different things, and you're not gonna understand it. It's super simple. That's what marketers are doing these days. They're trying to create tools of AI that are simple and easy to use. They don't think of any of the users as coders or developers. They want them to have a simple product that is out there. So AI tools do that for you. So then that way you just understand what type of products are working and what type of products you can sell. Marketing, uh, if you're if you're starting off, I would say TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Just spend your money on those three and see how it turns out, and then scale it. Okay, I mean, if you're starting off, you need to try your product off that. Uh, there are different marketing strategies. I mean, again, if you have a high-end product, Google Shopping search ads are good as well, depending on a product. Let's say if you have a $10 product, then you don't want to like spend $20 to sell the $10 product. Okay, so mark up your products based off that. A $10 product could be an add-on to a $100 product. You understand what I mean? So you have to create products accordingly, because uh, majority of people, like that fail in e-commerce on year one, and I think like there's almost like plenty of them. The reason for that is like they don't understand their own products. They see a product online, they go like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna pick a product like this as well, and I'm gonna just launch it," but they don't have any numbers or stats or like any study behind it. And there are tools that are literally half an hour worth of research, and they tell you if it's worth your time. So try out everything. Marketing again. There's also, if you can find like people, if your product has an influencer in the market, you can work with the influencer. Tell them like every time a product sells, I'm gonna give you, like a percentage of the profit. One thing that I recently, I mean, we do this for a number of products. One of the person that is part of a pet, one of my clients is like a pet product. So what they do, and I think I can take their example because it's an open thing on their website, but they find influencers that have really good dog videos on Instagram, and they reach out to them, and then this like, hey, we're gonna send you this product. Can you just and there's no cost to it. We would cover the shipping and the product cost, and all you have to do is just review this product and recommend it to your audience. That's like pretty much your cost. So at that point, it's just like sending the product and asking. You just have to reach out. Okay. Again, depending on how creative you are, there's no limitation on what type of marketing could be done. Paid, organic, they all exist. Depends on how soon you want to scale it, the amount of patience you have, and how good your product is. It's a mix of website third question is a mix of website, one or more platforms, Shopify, good way to launch. I would just say like, like there's no right or wrong answer to it. You might have a product page that is just like on a platform, and then you just move everything to an e-commerce platform. That's fine. But like to keep things simple, I would just say like stick to one platform. Shopify, for example, you can have like a home page, it can have product pages, it can have multiple product pages, categories, industries. So why complicate it? And because in long term, you're only gonna have troubles managing it. The less the trouble, the better it is. Now, I would like to new things. Hopefully, you did learn new things. If in case if anyone missed it, I know like a lot of people. It's also a work day, so just I can send a video to all the people that signed up. What type of marketing I can use to scale? There's no one or two type of marketing. You have to try out different things. You have to play with different budgets as well. But like start off small. My theory is simple. If the ad is not converting after spending $100, just kill it. You have to recreate a new ad. Just don't spend more money on. People might disagree, but that's what I've done, and I've always kept it cost effective. The type of marketing, when you do that, is called growth hacking. Okay, so make sure you are mindful of that. How do you know where to scale? I've been in business for 14 years, basically at the same level. I've never know what to invest in with time and money to see growth. Well, if you're selling the same product for 14 years and if they haven't scaled, I have to break the news to you. You have to shoot the product in your backyard and find a new product for yourself. The reason for that is like if you're selling your product for 14 years or like you're in an industry that is not scalable, then there's a problem with the, I mean, I again, maybe your website's not converting properly, it's not optimized for mobile users, you're not running any ads, or the product has like some sort of like side effects, or like I mean people just don't like the product. So you have to get to the core to it. I cannot base it off just this question. I still have to get more information to answer it. But my advice would be check all of those things that I explained today. See if your product's trending. See if the product demand is there. Who else is selling it, and how many products do they sell? Okay. The product that I showed for the software that I showed for AI today tells you how many sales those products are making. It's not hard to tell. Even when you go on Amazon, I don't know if you guys have noticed this. When you go on Amazon, it tells you 200 products sold last month. That's all free information. I mean, if you write your similar product to yours, and if let's say if you find 20 products and they all are getting one or two sales on Amazon, which is one of the number biggest platform in e-commerce, right? And if those products are getting one or two sales, it's not even worth it. You have to find a new product, and then you have to pivot sooner than better. Like otherwise, it's just gonna keep on wasting your time on a product that's not gonna be scalable. Shipping process. I personally don't recommend one or two ways of shipping because there's so many companies out there. Everyone has their own experience. But if you're starting off as a first time, like e-commerce platform, just find 5, 6 customers, or if you have the money for it, just send gifts to your friends and family to try out the products and send them through different shipping services. That would tell you, and get their feedback. Before you get their feedback on the product, just go like, hey, how was your shipping experience? Was the product all in one piece, or like was it like how was the overall experience? And that would tell you what's the best shipping process. And it's overseas, again, depends on like from what country or what city you're getting your products from. Okay, so last thing, and I think I try to cover most of the stuff, but like there's no way you can like go answer each and every question. But I tried my best today to start from like very basics to like some sort of like understanding of what you guys have to do. If any, Lindsay, even for you, like, or anyone else who later wants to get more information, I do have a book about business scaling. If you guys want to scan this QR code, you're more than welcome to get a copy of that book. So that talks about business scaling and my experiences in like digital marketing. I've tried to keep it very relevant to last 2-3 years. And I do have some good examples of like mistakes that I made and that no one told me or at the earlier stage of marketing. As Phil City said, like 100 million spent on ad campaigns. So you do learn, you make more mistakes and you learn from those mistakes, and that's how you scale your business. But you have to keep it cost effective. You don't spend hundreds of thousands and end up like selling nothing. All right, so that's it. Felicity, do you want to add anything to it? I think I'm good on my end, unless I have any questions.
Right. Well, I just want to thank you again for your time. I learned a lot, like always. Just, whether it be some of these other websites that someone can use to look at what are the trending products, to find out a little bit more. How can we use AI in a description? How can we follow up after the purchase? What do we do before? So I liked how you went through sort of the before, during, and after process, and of course highlighted that importance of market research. Lindsay, thank you so much for being here. I want to wish you the best of luck in your new business. I know you're starting up brick and mortar, but I'm sure having an e-commerce to complement that will be great. So hopefully today's session was helpful. And again, we try to do one of these events every month. So we are always looking to have different topics. So Kabir, thank you so much for today's presentation. I wish everyone a great rest of their day. And on behalf of the City of Toronto, thank you so much for being here and contributing to this online community. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Lindsay.